Hi everyone. So here I'm here today. My name is Mathieu Bourrier, and I'm here to talk to you about ownCrypt, which is the name I gave to client-side encryption for ownCloud. So first, a few context. I will go quick on that since Frank and Angela already talked a lot about it. Today there are big threats on online data, and we need to protect this data with trusted tools, because users will use tools. They will use Dropbox if they have nothing else. So we need to have something else than Dropbox available. First, a little bit of distinction between server-side encryption. Bjorn already talked about it, so I'll go quick. The main point of his speech that I want you to remind here is that you have to trust the administrator. And for some kinds of files, you might not want to trust him. Your banking data, your health data, your most sensitive files, maybe they are too critical for you to trust someone else. Besides, that someone else might be compromised, and as he has the key to decrypt your files, if it's compromised, your data get leaked. So that's not good. A compromise and compromission can be that is legally compelled to give access to your data, like it happened to LavaBit, or it can be hacked and this kind of stuff. So maybe for your most sensitive data, you want to use client-side encryption, where the cloud provider doesn't have the key. Only you have the key to protect your data, which means that even if it's compromised, your data is safe. There is no leakage. So there are 3 core design principles for ownCrypt that I set up when I started. The first one is that we don't trust the server, and we don't trust it ever, which sets the feature apart from some competitors. I'll talk about it later. We want to use and build strong cryptography, which means that there's no plan for web-based interface for ownCrypt, since the web browser is not a safe environment for cryptographic code. It can be hacked easily. And it's also must be easy to use. Frank insisted a lot of that. If we want people to stop using Dropbox, we have to give them tools as easy to use as Dropbox. Otherwise, they just will keep on using Dropbox. So the status of the project right now is it's in the design phase. A lot of design has already been done, but it's not finished. Code should be started in the last quarter of this year, if all things goes well. And at this point, any helping hands are really welcomed, because it's a very big project. There are codes coding needed to be done in the desktop clients, the mobile clients, both iOS and Android. So there's a lot of work here. So I want to go a little bit in the technical details, just to show you what the kind of design decisions I make. So we'll do a little inception. That is, I will pull you into my head when I think about designing ownCrypt. So one of the main challenge in encryption is the key management. If I want to share files with you, and I use client-side encryption, I have a public key, and you have a public key, and we need to exchange it. And then only after that can we securely exchange files. And exchanging those keys in a secure way is something that has been very difficult for a long time in the security community. So first, my main point is that the user should only have to select something that he trusts to do the key exchange. So it could be an email addresses, for instance. But he has to have that email address that he knows belongs to the person he wants to share files with. And it can be very cumbersome to do if I want, for instance, to share files with 50 people or 100 people. It would be very cumbersome to select all their email address and try to set it up using the interface. So I'm running out of time. Sorry. So what I thought could be done is that the software could cross-reference the email addresses already known to the user For instance, he could scan the mailbox, the email addresses, and get the email addresses already known, and then cross-reference it with the email addresses in ownCloud server. And if we want to do that, and in a way that no data is leaked, no unnecessary data is leaked, first, the client can't ask the server for each and every one of the email addresses. Otherwise, the server learns that this user is using this address, and remember, we don't trust the server, so we don't want that. So the client has to get all the email addresses in one batch. So this way, the server doesn't learn anything. But the client will learn all the email addresses in ownCloud server, which is not good at all, too. So one way to do that, to do it in a safe way, sorry, it's the last slide, is to have the server encrypt each and every email addresses with itself, which means that the client has then to take each encrypted items and try to decrypt it with the email addresses it already knows. And this way, if he gets a readable email addresses, he can conclude that these email addresses exist in ownCloud. But for all the other email addresses, he will never learn them because it will decrypt something unreadable. So that's one of the kind of the design decisions that I'm dealing with. And I would be very glad to discuss your opinions and ideas about all of this. So come see me anytime you want. Thank you very much.